Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Salutations to the self shining in every heart as Ramana. We begin today's satsang with a prayer by Srimati Sapna Ganesh. This will be followed by the chanting of Muktaka trayam.
Dakshinamurti Sarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Ramanacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Angikam Bhuvanam Yasya Vachikam Sarva Vangmayam Aharyam Chandrataradi Tam Namasatvikam Shivam Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana to everyone.
Namo Ramana. Ekamaksharam Hridi Nirantaram Bhasate Swayam Likhyate Katham Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Hyahamahami Sakshat Atmarupena Bhati Hridi Vishamanasa Swam Chinvata Majjatava Pavana Chalana Rodha Atmanishto Bhavatvam Deham Rinmaya Vajjadatmakam Aham Buddhirna Tasyastyato Naham Tattadabhavasupti Samaye Siddhatma Sadbhavataha Koham Bhavayutah Kuto Varadhiya Drishtvatmanishtatmana Soham Spurtitaya Arunachala Shivaha Purno Vibhati Swayam Soham Spurtitaya Arunachala Shivaha Purno Vibhati Swayam. Namo Ramana. We will now have the chanting of Upadesa Saram by Uma Sripathy.
Namo Ramana. Idamaham pada bhikyamanvaham ahamilīnake pyalaya sattaya vigrahendriya प्राणधीतमा नाहमेकस तज्जडं ह्यसत् सत्त्वभासिका चित्क्ववेतरा सत्तया हि चेत् चित्तया ह्यहम् ईशजीवयोर्वेषधीभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम् वेषहानता स्वात्मदर्शनम् ईशदर्शनम् स्वात्मरूपत आत्मसंस्थिति स्वात्मदर्शनम् आत्मनिर्द्वयादात्मनिष्ठता ज्ञानवर्जिता अज्ञानहीन चेत् ज्ञानमस्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्तरं किं स्वरूपम् इत्यात्मदर्शने अव्यया भवा अपूर्णचित्सुखं बन्धमुक्त्यतीतं परं सुखं विन्दति जीवस्तु दैविक अहमपेतकं निजविभानकं महदिदं तपो रमणवागियम् नमो रमण
Namo Ramana. We will be presenting 4 songs from Ramananjali Sangeetam. The first one will be presented by Srimati V. Radha. The second song will be presented by Savitri Krishnan and Jaisriram Krishnan. The third song will be second will be presented by Prathibha Sundaresh. Third song will be presented by Savitri Krishnan and Jaisriram Krishnan. The fourth song will be presented by Revathi Shankar.
Namo Ramana to all. Today I will be presenting a song written by Sri Ramanatha Brahmachari. The music is by Sri L. Krishnan. அருளே உருவாயமரும் ரமணன் இருளேதுமிலா பதமீதனனே ரமணன் ரமணன் அருளே ரமணன் 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 அருளே ரமணன் ஐயன் ரமணன் அருள் தந்ததனால் பொய்யாமினை போன வகை அறியேன் ஐயன் ரமணன் அருள் தந்ததனால் பொய்யாமினை போன வகை அறியேன் உய்யும் வழியன் உளமுற்றதனால் மெய்யன்பினை வந்து விழுங்கியதே அருளே உருவாய் அமரும் ரமணன் இருளேதுமிலா பதமீதனனே ரமணன் ரமணன் அருளே ரமணன் அருணா புரிவாய் அருள் வேதியனாம் கருணாமுகிலோன் கவலை களைவோன் அருணா புரிவாய் அருள் வேதியனாம் கருணாமுகிலோன் கவலை களைவோன் மரணாதிய மயக்கம் மறுத்தருளும் தருணாருண ஞானதயா பரனே அருளே உருவாய் அமரும் ரமணன் இருளேதுமிலா பதமீந்தனனே ரமணன் ரமணன் அருளே ரமணன் சிந்தாமணியாகிய சின்மயனே மந்தாகினி மைந்த மகாசயனே சிந்தாமணியாகிய சின்மயனே மந்தாகினி மைந்த மகாசயனே கந்தா கருணாலய தேசிகனே எந்தாபமகற்றியருள் குகனே அருளே உருவாய் அமரும் ரமணன் இருளேதுமிலா பதமீந்தனனே ரமணன் ரமணன் அருளே ரமணன் சரணாகத்தியாயடையும் தமியேன் மரணாதிமயக்கமறுத்தருள்வாய் கருணாநிதியாகிய வேங்கடமா அருணாச்சலமாயம ஜோதியனே அருளே உருவாய் அமரும் ரமணன் இருளே துமிலா பதமீந்தனே ரமணன் ரமணன் அருளே ரமணன் 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 அருளே ரமணன் 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 அருளே ரமணன். நமோ ரமண.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. This is a Sanskrit composition by Sri C.N. Shastri. Paramamangala Jnana Bodhisida Kamala Charitane Shri Guruve Paramamangala Jnana Bodhisida Kamala Charitane Shri Guruve Ni Smarana Pavana Teja Arunachalada Ramanesha Ramanesha ಚರಣ ಕಮಲ ತ್ವಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಾ ಅನವರತ ಸ್ಮರಿಸುವೆನು ನೀ ಕೈ ಪಿಡಿದು ಬಿಡದಲೆ ಕರುಣ ರಕ್ಷಿಸು ನಮ್ಮ ನನವರತ ರಕ್ಷಿಸೋ 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 ನಮ್ಮ ಅನವರತ ಅನವರತ ರಕ್ಷಿಸೋ ರಮಣ ಸದ್ಗುರೋ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ರಮಣಂ ಭಜಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ರಮಣಂ ಭಜಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಸುಗುಣದಯಾಕರ ಸುಜನ ಮಂದಾರಂ 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 ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ರಮಣಂ ಭಜಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಿರಂಜನ ರೂಪಂ ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಿರಂಜನ ರೂಪಂ ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಿರಂಜನ ರೂಪಂ ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತೀತ ನಿರಂಜನ ರೂಪಂ ಸಗುಣ ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿದೂರ ವಿಜಾತ್ಮನ್ ಸಗುಣ ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿದೂರ ನಿಜಾತ್ಮಂ ಸಗುಣ ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿದೂರ ನಿಜಾತ್ಮಂ ಸಗುಣ ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿದೂರ ನಿಜಾತ್ಮಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ರಮಣಂ ಭಜಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಸುಗುಣದಯಾಕರ ಸುಜನ ಮಂದಾರಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ರಮಣಂ ಭಜಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಕೋಹಂ ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿಚಾರ ಸುವೇದ್ಯಂ ಕೋಹಂ ಧ್ಯಾನ विचारसुवेद्यम् सहज समाधि अलङ्कृत भावम् कोऽहं ध्यान विचारसुवेद्यम् सहज समाधि अलङ्कृत भावम् इह परसौख्यमनो बलदातम् इह परसौख्यमनो बलदातम् इह परसौख्यमनो बलदातम् महिमं दास नारायण हृदयम् महिमं दास नारायण हृदयम् महिमं दास नारायण हृदयम् श्री गुरु रमणं भजाम्यहम् सुगुणदयाकर सुजनमन्दारम् श्री गुरु रमणं भजाम्यहम् नमो रमण
कैलास परिवार तोरे वाचगर वचन सुधे गाई हाथोरे दो कैलास परिवार तोरे वाचगर वचन सुधे गाई हाथोरे दो पेरंदोरेगे बंदंते ईगलो नन्ना पड़ जोड़िय केಳುವ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ पेरंदोरेगे बंदंते ईगलो नन्ना पड़ ನೋಡಿಯ ಕೇಳುವ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ ಹಿಂದೆಂದೋ ಕೈಲಾಸ ಪರಿವಾರ ತೋರೆದು ವಾಚಕರ ವಚನ ಸುಧೆಗಾಗಿ ಹಾತೊರೆದು ಹರಿವಿರಂಗಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗದ ನಿಜ ರೂಪವನು ಮರೆಸಿ ನಿನಗಾಗಿ ಮೊರೆದ ಹರಿವಿರಂಗಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗದ ನಿಜ ರೂಪವನು ಮರೆಸಿ ನಿನಗಾಗಿ ಮೊರೆದ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಿಯನು ಕೊಡಲು ಈ ಅರುಣಗಿರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಿಯನು ಕೊಡಲು ಈ ಅರುಣಗಿರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ ಹಿಂದೆಂದೋ ಕೈಲಾಸ ಪರಿವಾರ ತೋರೆದು ವಾಚಕರ ವಚನ ಸುಧೆಗಾಗಿ ಹಾತೊರೆದು ಪೆರಂದೋರೆಗೆ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಈಗಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಪಡನುಡಿಯ ಕೇಳುವ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ ಶಿವನೇ ಗುರು ರಮಣ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಶ್ರೀ ರಮಣಾಯ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Once we have come to Bhagavan, we don't know the reason why he is keeping us with him. Sadhguru Swami says, is it my effort? I have not done any kind of penance, or I don't know what is the meaning of jnana. I have not done any sadhana. Why have you chosen me, and why are you giving me your own state? We can't find any of these in any of the scriptures or Vedas. Such a Guru, you have come to me and you have given to this ignorant fellow, ignorant person, your own state, and you have given me a chance to be your devotee. What else do I need to ask? I was roaming about in every street and every corner, and you have searched for me and kept me at your feet, and you're giving me your own state at every moment. Is it my own punya which I have accumulated in the last janma, or is it some kind of tapas, or is it any kind of one effort which I have put for your grace to come on me? My life is complete. There is no birth and death. There is no cycle of birth and death. I need not be afraid of anything. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my everything. You are my Guru. You have opened the true eye to me and you reveal yourself to me. A song written by Sadhguru Swami. Kannada translation is by Dr. N.S. Lakshmi Narayana Bhatta. Music by H.K. Narayana. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನಾ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುದೇವ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನಾ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳು ರಮಣ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ದೇವಾವಳಿ ವೇದಾವಳಿ ಹುಡುಕಿದರೂ ಸಿಗದ, ದೇವಾವಳಿ ವೇದಾವಳಿ ಹುಡುಕಿದರೂ ಸಿಗದ, ದೇವ ನೀನು ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಅಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ದುಡಿದೆ, ದಾಸನಾಗಿ ಪಡೆದೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುದೇವ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ಬೀದಿ ಬೀದಿ ಅಲೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಈ ಪಾಮರ ಕೀಟವ, ಬೀದಿ ಬೀದಿ ಅಲೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಈ ಪಾಮರ ಕೀಟವ, ಮೇಲೆತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಿಡಿಬಿತ್ತಿದೆ ನಂಬಿದೆ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದವ, ದಾಟಿದೆ ಭವಜಾಲವ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳು ರಮಣ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ಹಿಂದಿನೊಂದು ಪುಣ್ಯವೇ ಇಂದಿನೊಂದು ತಪವೇ, ಹಿಂದಿನೊಂದು ಪುಣ್ಯವೇ ಇಂದಿನೊಂದು ತಪವೇ, ನಿನ್ನ ಕರುಣೆ ಒಂದೇ ಈ ದೀನನ ಕಾಪಾಡಿತು, ಜನರ ಮರಣ ತೀರಿತು. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ, ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುದೇವ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀನೆ ಕಾಪಾಡುವ ಗುರುವು, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀನೆ ಕಾಪಾಡುವ ಗುರುವು, ನನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಕಣ್ತೆರೆಸಿದ ಪ್ರಭುವು, ನನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಕಣ್ತೆರೆಸಿದ ಪ್ರಭುವು, ಕೃಪೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಶುಭವೋ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ, ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುದೇವ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಾಧನ ಏನಿಲ್ಲದ ನನಗೆ, ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳು ರಮಣ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳು ರಮಣ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ, ಒಲಿದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳು ರಮಣ ಕಾರಣವೇ ಇರದೆ. Namo Ramana. We will now have reading and sharing from the book Ramana's Muruganar by Sri Nandakumarji.
Namo Ramana. In this, the book reading segment of our satsang, we continue to read from Ramana's Muruganar, a birth centenary offering compiled by our founder president, Sri A.R. Natarajanji. We are moving on to the account of Dr. T.N. Pranatharthi Haran, who is a great devotee. He used to speak in our workshops in Madurai when we used to conduct the workshops on Enlightenment Day. He is a Tamil professor and head of the Tamil department. He has worked as head of Tamil department in Madurai College. We read this account, which is entitled Ramana Puranam by Dr. T.N. Pranatharthi Haran. Ramana Sannidhi Murai and Guruvachaka Kovai are two important works of Sri Muruganar. While the former, that is Ramana Sannidhi Murai, is a stotra, praise, the latter, Guruvachaka Kovai, is a shastra, scripture. Ramana Sannidhi Murai is the author's earliest work. It was sung in the holy presence, that is Sannidhi, of Sri Ramana, and hence the name. It contains 1851 short and long poems. Ramana Puranam is the first poem of 540 lines. It was sung on Thai Kritika January Tuesday in the Ishvara year. Cast in the Kalivenba meter, it very much resembles Shiva Puranam of Tiruvachakam. The words Ramana Puranam means the ancient story of Sri Ramana. Of course, the naming of Ramana Puranam itself is a very interesting incident. Muruganar is having doubt, having written 400 or 300 and odd verses. He is having a doubt whether to name it Shiva Puranam or Ramana Puranam, and he leaves it like that, the sheaf of papers in front of Bhagavan, and he goes carrying the doubt with him, and when he comes back, he finds Bhagavan to have added 100 more lines to the work, and the title of the work is written as Ramana Puranam on all the pages, and that is how the work gets its name. Later on, when publishing, I think that incident I am recollecting properly, that Muruganar writes that the last 100 lines or so are written by Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. In the final proof to be sent for printing. And Bhagavan gives it back to him, asking, were they, the 100 lines, were they the only lines written by me? Immediately, he erases, Muruganar Swami erases that the whole work is written by the Ishvara only. And that's a big lesson for us right there, that none of these satsangs are conducted by any one of us. It's not possible. It's only Bhagavan's presence that is allowing this to happen. The words Ramana Puranam means the ancient story of Sri Ramana. The work contains 9 long ahavals, of which Ramana Puranam is the first one. All of them form the integral character of Sannidhi Murai. The experience that Muruganar had at the feet of Sadguru Sri Ramana is the nucleus of the poem. Muruganar was liberated even at the first sight of his master, which can be equated to the liberation of Manikavachakar at Tiruperundurai. Muruganar, like Manikavachakar, by the very first glance was possessed, severed, and graced. Hence, these 3 words can be said to be the quintessence of the work, that is, possessed, severed from the bondages, and graced, filled with grace. Ramana Puranam aims at highlighting Ramana's limitless glory of grace. Ramana is hailed both as Guru and God here. We will find this to be of significance as the account goes on. By his possession and grace, I ascertain that he is Lord Shiva himself. When that is Muruganar's quotation from Ramana Puranam, when Ramana is seen as Guru, the Dasa Bhava attitude of a servant prevails. Nayaka, Nayaki Bhava of a love-lorn beloved is assumed when Ramana is visualized as God. So, when Ramana is seen as Guru, the Dasa Bhava attitude of a servant prevails. Nayaka, Nayaki Bhava of a love-lorn beloved is assumed when Ramana is visualized as God. But in Ramana Puranam, the Dasa Bhava alone is found. Throughout, the Dasa Bhava or the servitude attitude is maintained. Ramana Puranam remains the key to the entire Sannidhi Murai. It should be recited like the Vedas. Namo Ramanaya, the mantra recommended by Muruganar, finds place at the beginning. Ramana Puranam, I'll repeat that, Ramana Puranam remains the key to the entire Sannidhi Murai. It should be recited like the Vedas. This morning only we were discussing in another group the importance of Rudram, said to be containing all the benefits of all the Vedas, the chanting of that. We can consider similarly here the Ramana Puranam to be at the heart of Sannidhi Murai. Ramana Puranam remains the key to the entire Sannidhi Murai. It should be recited like the Vedas. Namo Ramanaya. The mantra recommended by Muruganar finds place at the beginning. The portion starts with the lines, long live Namo Ramanaya, long live the feet of the deliverer. Long live Namo Ramanaya, long live the feet of the deliverer. The Almighty took human form to deliver us from human frailties. The poet celebrates his being possessed by the Master and praises him with the words potri, varga, and velga. Potri, of course, is poorly translated as praise. Varga is long live, velga is victory or success. But these are all poor translations. The poet celebrates his being possessed by the Master and praises him with the words potri, varga, velga. Appearing as a Brahman in Arunai, he showed his feet with gracious look. The result was the knowledge of the ego was severed. Appearing as a Brahmin in Arunai, he showed his feet with gracious look. The result was the know or the knowledge of the ego was severed. Ramana Vinodan. By making us listen to the glories of his master, the poet simply takes one to the presence of Sri Ramana. By making us listen to the glories of his master, the poet takes one to the presence of Sri Ramana. Nothing more need be done in bhakti. When you can feel the presence of Bhagavan, there itself the mind is in samadhi, is absorbed in that presence. That is what Sannidhi Murai does, says the author. By making us listen to the glories of his master, the poet simply takes one to the presence of Sri Ramana. Some of the qualities enumerated are as follows. Some of the qualities of Bhagavan enumerated. Like a top, he tosses all individuals with the noose, but remains aloof as space, the wonder. Like in the top being spun, there is a noose which is tied around the top. He seems to be that noose, but then he himself doesn't have any of those actions of going around and flipping the top. That he is like actually like this space, but somehow the top spins. Like a top, he tosses all individuals with the noose, but remains aloof as space, the wonder. This Arunesha brings to a halt the devotee's chariot of endless births that runs with wheels astray. Our lives are described as a chariot running from Janma to Janma, with wheels running hither and thither, with no particular direction, being pulled by various vasanas in various ways. But then come Bhagavan into our life. That is the last of the births that the devotee takes. The devotee may live well. He blesses as Akashavani. By his omnipresence, he is providence to those devoid of ego. Bhagavan is the destination. That as the omnipresence, Bhagavan's teachings are based on not on omnipotence, not merely on omnipotence, not merely on omniscience, but wholly on omnipresence, where the omnipotence and omniscience become unnecessary. When there is nothing other than Ramana, where is the need for control or where is the need for knowledge? Both become obsolescent, both become unnecessary. By his omnipresence, he is providence to those devoid of ego. He does not feel ashamed in losing to friends. To Mudaliyar party, he loses. To Lakshmi the cow, he loses. To the monkeys, he loses. To Ramanath Brahmachari, he says, I am afraid of Ramanath Brahmachari. So, no wonder Muruganar says, he does not feel ashamed to losing to friends. Muruganar pulls his leg right in front of everybody. That guru is far better. He is asking only for interest. The guru here is asking for the very capital. And Bhagavan laughs with him, having put to him the joke that the other guru is asking for the phala of the japa and expecting Muruganar to acquiesce with him, so to say. But Muruganar ends up seriously pulling his leg. That guru is far better. And Bhagavan laughs with him at the joke presented by Muruganar, so wonderfully written by Muruganar and captured by Dr. Pranadarthi Haran. Let's revisit these verses that he has selected for us in our next reading. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramana. Namo.
Namo Ramana. We will now have a session of self-enquiry, which will be led by Sri Dileep Simha. He will be sharing his thoughts about self-enquiry and have we'll have a practice session of self-enquiry too.
Namo Ramana. Dhyayet Sharada Chandra Sundaramukam Tamraravindekshana Bhaktabhishtabharabhaya Pradakaram Kaupinamatrojvalam Svatmanam Tarasanubhuti Vivasham Sarvanavatyagakam Srimantam Shri Ramaneshwaram Guruvaram Yogasanam Dhyasitam Dhyayet Shri Ramaneshwaram Dhyayet Shri Ramaneshwaram Dhyayet Shri Ramaneshwaram Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahmamatram Yahamahamiti Sakshat Atmarupena Bhati Hrudi Vishamanasa Swam Chinvata Majjatava Pavana Chalanarodhat Atmanishto Bhavatvam. Namo Ramana. We will commence the Atma Vicharam by listening to Bhagavan's Upadesham. I'll be reading his Upadesham from the book Guruvachaka Kovai, from the chapter Meditation on the Truth. The topic is Disciplining the Mind and Senses. Verse 685. The Atma Swarupa, reality shines only in the state of Turiya, whose nature cannot be described as such and such. If the four inner organs, Antakaranas, and the five outer organs of cognition, the eyes and so on, remain naturally still, with their mischievous movements perpetually curtailed, then that Turiya itself will become Atita, transcendent, and the self will shine fully in the other avasthas as well. I repeat the verse. The Atma Swarupa, reality, shines only in the state of Turiya, whose nature cannot be described as such and such. If the four inner organs, Antakaranas, and the five outer organs of cognition, the eyes and so on, remain naturally still, with their mischievous movements perpetually curtailed, then that Turiya itself will become Atita, transcendent, and the self will shine fully in the other avasthas as well. In here, Bhagavan is revealing how one can, through effort, reach only up to the Turiya and stay there. And after that, that takes over everything and shines as the truth, as the Atma Swarupa. And how to reach there? He says we have to curtail all the inner organs, the Antakaranas, the mind, intellect, the ego, all of that. And the outer organs of the eyes and the indriyas. It is only possible when we recognize that none of this, like a mirage, is really going to bring us happiness, how much ever we indulge with them. And by recognizing that simple and natural fact, one naturally develops aversion towards them. And then when one stops entertaining the indriyas, the attention to them, the attention to the mind, which is completely throwing thoughts after thoughts, and when we become disinterested with them, then all of the movements of all these external indriyas and the internal indriyas will stop. And then one reaches a state which Bhagavan says it is not anymore objective to describe as such and such. Having reached there and abiding in that, in a state of what we can say a niralamba, we are not dependent on anything. In that state, when one simply remains, that state itself will consume everything and will start to shine effortlessly, and that is the Atma Swarupa reality, says Bhagavan here. And exactly that is the reason why Bhagavan gives us this Atma Vichara, wherein the habit of us to get indulged in thoughts, in indriyas, in movements outside, in a kind of a blindfolded way, kind of like a moth drawn to fire. The attention runs towards them, not really thinking what is the reason I'm running behind them. And here's where the enquiry, to whom is this? This enquiry makes us question the very movement, the very attention that is running outward. And by questioning it, the attention, instead of moving towards the object in a very blindfolded way, moves to the one who is pursuing it, the I. Therefore, the answer will come, it is for me. And then for me, when I say, and the Bhagavan asks us to diligently question, who am I? And this very question is a very important question, because until we put this question to ourselves and start inquiring, what do I refer to as I, or where from this idea of I or the thought I is rising within me, until I inquire into that, until I will not recognize that everything is just an objective, imaginary flow of thoughts. And when I put this question, who am I, and try to get to the source of it, there I find myself to be that pure, unalloyed truth, ever shining like the sun, and in whose presence everything seems to be happening. And when we recognize diligently that natural truth and remain in that turiya state, Bhagavan says that turiya itself will consume everything and it will become atita, transcendental. And in that transcendental, there is nothing but the experience of the Atma Swarupa, the reality. And to make us again and again take a dip in which alone is, Bhagavan has devised this beautiful Atma Vichara. Otherwise, we will be again and again indulging with that which is very imaginary, fleeting, transcendental, simply at every time which is coming and going in. So there is no reality in this. Every time it is transforming from one to another. By inquiring, we are moving our attention from that which is fleeting to that which alone is. And by repeatedly bringing the attention which is outward turned, which is towards the imaginary, to that which alone is, Bhagavan has made all of our habits get purified and are recognized that the pure truth alone is unaffected by any of these things here and now. And by abiding in that truth, Bhagavan says that Turiya, it itself will become Atita, and then it will shine forth in all avasthas, whether it is in the waking dream or in the sleep. The truth alone will be recognized to be the reality, and avasthas are like any other fleeting things, will come and go, and one would not pay any attention. And Bhagavan calls it like a moon in the bright sunlight. So nobody would look at the moon, even though the moon may be present. So even when we recognize the mirage to be not real, it may continue to appear, but we will never, ever fall for believing that the mirage is a flow of water. That is the truth that one will recognize, or one will no more pay heed attention, which he is right now running behind. So with Bhagavan's immense grace, let us practice Atma Vichara for the next 10 minutes, wherein no matter how many thoughts come, no matter whatever is the nature of those thoughts, whether it's a good thought, a bad thought, or an imaginary thought, we should diligently inquire, to whom is this? Recognize it is for me. And thereupon, by inquiring who am I, we should turn the attention back to that source, or where from this I rises. And that very inquiry, by the grace of the Guru, takes us to the source. And with repeated practice, one gains the strength to remain at that source. And that source, then having consumed everything, will alone shine forth, says Bhagavan. And in its rising and shining, all states, whether the waking, dream, or sleep, we will be only attending to that truth, and that truth alone, having recognized that alone remains. Bhagavan's immense grace, let us practice self-enquiry for the next 10 minutes. Bhagavate Sri Ramana
Namo Ramana sir. We will now have the sharing of Atma Bodham by Sri Venkatesh Deshpande sir.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviram Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnanamulam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripaha, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripaha. Namo Ramana. We remain on Atma Bodha. In the last satsang, we read about verse number 53. We'll do a quick recap on 53. On destruction of the limiting equipments, the sage becomes one with Vishnu as water mixes with water, light with light, or space with space. Your essential nature is eternal, all-pervading reality. Due to your ignorance, you identify with your matter and become a limited personality. If, however, you withdraw your identification with these limiting factors, you get liberated gradually from their shackles. Finally, through single-pointed meditation, you regain your original divine nature. The ideas expressed in the above three metaphors, which we had done Manana last time, have been well summarized by Hanuman when he describes the relationship with Lord Rama. In his description, he refers to Rama as the supreme reality and draws its relationship to the three aspects of his personality as follows. When I consider myself as my body, I am your servant. When I consider myself as my body, I am your servant. When I consider myself as an individual, I am part of you. But when I consider myself as my Atman, you and I are one. So it's very important. When I consider myself as my Atman, you and I are one. So we'll continue to do Manana on verse number 54. I request Sapna to kindly read the same, please.
Namo Ramana sir.
Namo Ramana.
Yattabhatna paro labhaha yat sukhatna parasukham yat jnanatna param jnanam tat brahma iti avadharayet yat labhatna paro labhaha yat sukhatna parasukham yat jnanatna param jnanam tat brahma iti avadharayet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sapna. Realize that to be Brahman, beyond the attainment of which there is no greater attainment, beyond whose bliss there is no greater bliss, and beyond whose knowledge there is no greater knowledge. Realize that to be Brahman, beyond the attainment of which there is no greater attainment, beyond whose bliss there is no greater bliss, and beyond knowledge there is no greater knowledge. You reach the state of realization when you cast off the conditionings of your material equipments and become one with the transcendental reality. The reality lies beyond the limitations of the human experiences. It eludes any direct description. Hence, a special technique known as Tadastha Lakshana is employed to indicate the reality. A method by which an unknown permanent object is pointed out by means of a known impermanent object. For example, in a row of identical houses, a particular house is pointed out by drawing your attention to a bird perched on its roof. The bird is impermanent, but helps you to identify the house. Having understood the nature of the permanent through the medium of an impermanent factor, the latter is of no significance thereafter. This technique is used herein to point out the unknown reality in terms of the known experiences of the body, mind, and intellect. Self-realization is described as a state of absolute fulfillment of the three personalities of a human being. It is a state of the greatest gain, the greatest bliss, and the greatest knowledge. It is the state of the greatest gain, the greatest bliss, and greatest knowledge. The physical body constantly seeks sensual pleasures. You keep on acquiring and enjoying the objects of the world until you gain the transcendental experience. At that stage, demands of the body are completely satisfied, satiated. Similarly, the mind ceaselessly seeks the joys of the world. Its seeking also ends with the realization of the self. When you experience the state of absolute bliss, the intellect plays the part of endless probing into the world and acquiring the variety of knowledge therein. This quest for knowledge also continues until self-realization, when you attain the state of absolute knowledge. The state of self-realization is therefore described as beyond the furthest limit that you can reach through your material equipment. It is a state of absolute fulfillment beyond which there is no greater experience. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Namo.
Namo Ramana. We'll now have the chanting of Aksharamanamalai by Srimati V. Radha.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Omkara Porul Gopuyarvilloi Munayar Arivar Arunachala. Avai pol எனக்கு உன் அருளை தந்தென்னை ஆளுவதுன் கடன் அருணாச்சலா. கண்ணுக்கு கண்ணாய் கண்ணின்றி காணுனை காணுவதெவர் பார் அருணாச்சலா. இரும்பு போல் கவர்ந்தென்னை விடாமல் கலந்தென்னோடிருப்பாய் அருணாச்சலா. கிரியுருவாகிய கிருப்பை கடலே கிருப்பை கூர்ந்தருளுவாய் அருணாச்சலா. கீழ்மேலெங்கும் கிளரொளி மணியன் கீழ்மையை பாழ் செய் அருணாச்சலா. குற்றமுற்றரு தென்னை குணமாய் பணித்தாள் குரு உருவாய் ஒளிர் அருணாச்சலா. கூர்வாட்கண்ணியர் கொடுமயிர் படாதருள் கூர்ந்தென்னை சேர்ந்தருள் அருணாச்சலா. கெஞ்சியும் வஞ்சிய கொஞ்சமும் இறங்கில்லை அஞ்சல் என்றே அருள் அருணாச்சலா. கேளாதளிக்கும் உன் கேடில் புகழை கேடு செய்யாதருள் அருணாச்சலா. கை நிற்கனி உன் மெய்ரசம் கொண்டு உவகை வெறி கொள அருள் அருணாச்சலா. கொடியிட்டடியரை கொல்லுனை கட்டி கொண்டெங்கன் வாழ்வேன் அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ 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 அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சலம் வாழி அன்பர்களும் வாழி. அக்ஷரமணமாலை வாழி. நமோ ரமண.
Namo Ramana. We will conclude today's satsang with the Ashtottara puja to Bhagavan. The Ashtottara puja will be done at Sri Dileep Simha's altar by Sri Dileep Simha. The Ashtottaram will be chanted by Vaibhavji, Prarthana and Uma Sripathy. We will conclude today's satsang with the Arati to Bhagavan, which will be sung by Sri Dr. Prathibha Sundaresh.
नमो रमण. भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं मृदु चिन्तयामि. ॐ महासेन महंसेन जाताय नमः. ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः. ॐ गुरवे नमः. ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः. ॐ महोजसे नमः. ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः. ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः. ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलुस्थिताय नमः. ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः. ॐ तीर्थपफलाय नमः. ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः. ॐ सहायाम्बासहायवते नमः. ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः. ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः. ॐ श्रीमद्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः. ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः. ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः. ॐ तीव्राय नमः. ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः. ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः. ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोर्णशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः. ॐ तपोमयाय नमः. ॐ उदासीनाय नमः. ॐ महायोगिने नमः. ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः. ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः. ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः. ॐ सुसन्द्रशे नमः. ॐ सवित्रे नमः. ॐ स्थिराय नमः. ॐ ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ पुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः। ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः। ॐ शूटवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः। ॐ शूणिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः। ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः। ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः। ॐ विराजतचलकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणास्य निभाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः।
ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्री शोणाचलहृद्भूत स्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्छिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ हृच्छान्तकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणात्मन्दमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणाद्रीशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः।
ॐ श्री रमण भगवते नमः। श्री अष्टोत्तर शतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थाणोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्या जनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रह सुप्रवाह विवशस्थादात्म्यभावं गतः हृन्निष्ठस्वगभीर नित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तर ज्योतिषी। नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावर्ण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि दर्शन सुख मंगल मुख सकल जीव हित सम्मुख ब्रह्म संगीये सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिव नंदपुष्ट परम महर्षि ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शी नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावर्ण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು ನೀನರಿತೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡುತ್ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವಯ್ಯ ಮೂಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪುರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರ್ಣ ನಮೋ महर्षि नमो महर्षि बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की जय।